Shalom Israel, this is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
Give me Deuteronomy 1:1 real quick. Because, let me ask you real quick. What's your nationality?
African-American.
African-American. Would you find African-American in the Bible?
No.
Exactly. You would not find it in the Bible because we studied the Bible. So the word African-American is not in there. Oh, give me that. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
No, unto all nations.
Unto all Israel.
So this is the word that God spake through Moses to the Israelite, to Israel. I mean, the so-called Israelite, are who? The so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, according to the Bible, right? So you're not African American, you're not so-called black, you're not none of that. You're an Israelite.
That's
according to the Bible. Oh, give me 28:15 real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
So this is going into what? It's going to happen in the future tense. That what? If we don't do God's law, statutes, and commandments, something is going to happen to us as a nation, right? So let's find out what's going to happen, right?
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all this work,
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if we don't do God's law, if we're going to be cursed as a nation.
That's right.
So it's a curse, a good thing or a bad thing? Bad thing. So we're going to read out one of these bad things that has become our history that came on us, right, as a nation. Give me 46 real quick.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So this curses is going to be on us for a sign. That way when we read the Bible, we can identify our nationality. We can identify the solution that we need in our community, right? Read.
And upon thy seed forever.
And upon our seed forever, meaning as long as our generation is still generating, that curse is going to still be on us. And as you can see till today, it's still on us. For example, give me 37 real quick.
Verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb.
We're going to become a proverb, meaning a wise saying. For example, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. That's a wise saying, read.
And a byword.
And a byword. Our people calling themselves outside of God's given name. That's a byword. Like what?
That's
African American.
Right.
American black. Hispanic. Native Indians. That's a byword. You see that? So that proves that what? We the people of this book right here. This is our book.
That's right.
Read.
And a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So the reason is because we lost our nationality. What's the reason because of that? Yeah, I want you to understand what I'm bringing out. That way you can understand what's going on.
Yeah.
What's the reason why we broke God's? We lost our nationality. Yeah, read 15 again. All right, read.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So you understand the reason why we lost our nationality now? What's the reason why?
Bring it up.
Understand.
You know that?
It's because we broke God's law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
So, if we want to go back to our true nationality, what must we do? We must come back to the Bible. We must come back to keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, right? That's what we give me Isaiah 45 real quick. We got to come back and take our name, our righteous name back, all right? That's what we got. That's one of the steps that we got to take, right? Read.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name.
God called us by his name, Israel.
That's right.
I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me.
See that? Even our surname is found right here in the Bible, right? We're going to find out what it is. Read.
Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 5. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
So one shall say, I am the Lord's, and another by the name of Jacob. That's why these brothers up here, we're going by righteous names from the Bible. I go by Azariah.
That's right.
You're looking at soldier Ezra right here. That's a soldier Amos right there.
right.
That's soldier Mikael. So all these righteous names, we're taking it back. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it belongs to us.
And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
By the name of what?
Israel.
So we subscribing our name, we changing our names to what? To Israel.
What is your real name?
Malcolm X.
Is that your legal name?
As far as I'm concerned, it's my legal name.
Have you been to court to establish that you are?
I didn't have to go to court to be called Murphy or Jones or Smith. Excuse me for answering you this way.
That's
if
all right.
a Chinese person were to say his name was Patrick Murphy, you would look at him like he's insane, because Murphy is an Irish name, a European name, or the name that has a Caucasian or white background. And a yellow person, Chinese is a yellow man, and he has nothing to do or no connection whatsoever with the name Murphy. And if it doesn't look proper for a person who is yellow or Chinese to be walking around named Murphy or Jones or Johnson or Bunch or Powell, I think it would be just as improper for a black person or the so-called Negro in this country, as we're taught that during slavery, the same slave master who owned us put his last name on us to denote that we were his property. So that when you see a Negro today who's named Johnson, if you go back in his history, you'll find that he was once his grandfather, or one of his forefathers was owned by a white man who was named Johnson. If his name is Bunch, his grandfather was owned by a white man that was named Bunch.
Would you mind telling me what your father's last name was?
My father didn't know his last name. My father got his last name from his grandfather, and his grandfather got it from his grandfather, who got it from the slave master. The real names of our people were destroyed during slavery.
Was there any line, any point in the genealogy of your family when you did have to use the last name, and if so, what was it?
The last name of my forefathers was taken from them when they were brought to America and made slaves. And then the name of the slave master was given, which we refuse. We reject that name today.
That's because we God's chosen people. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6 real quick. So we subscribing our name back, according to the Bible. Because God gave us righteous name, not a byword, all right?
That's right.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So for the fact that we God's chosen people, give me that in Corinthians. For the fact that we God's chosen people, guess what? We God's chosen people, we are above all people that he created upon the face of the earth, right? So guess what? We got to carry ourselves as a godly people, right? So let's see one of the ways we can carry ourselves as a God's chosen people. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
See that? So what we're bringing out is the order of the kingdom, right? A order of God's kingdom. So it's going into what? Read that part again.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So the head of every man is Christ. You understand that? Meaning what?
Every man is
No, but the main point is, read that again.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
The Bible is saying the head of every man is Christ, meaning the leader of the Israelite man, the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, is Christ.
That's right.
The leader of the men is Christ. Read.
That's right.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. You understand that? Meaning what? Yeah, meaning what though?
The woman is the head.
No, read that part again.
And the head of the woman.
We all have to teach you.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. Meaning what? The leader of the woman is the man. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is God. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. You know, that way you can get more understanding, all right? And the head of Christ is God. Read.
Every man praying or prophesying.
So we just went through an order, right? So God, Christ, man, woman. So that's the order that we just brought out.
And every man praying or prophesying.
Every man praying or prophesying. Because right now, what do you think we're doing right now? Prophesying, meaning teaching out this Holy Bible, right? Read.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered.
Having his head covered. Meaning, if you're teaching out this Bible, if you have your head covered, or you might be listening to the Bible as well. Because these brothers is not teaching. Right. Or they don't have their head covered.
Come on.
Read.
Dishonoreth his head.
Dishonor his head. Guess what? We just read about what? The head of the man is Christ. So if every man that is praying or prophesying have his head covered, you know, coming out this Bible, disrespect Christ. Do you want to disrespect Christ right now?
Oh, you talking about my hair?
So what you got to do? What do you think you got to do?
I'll take it off for you.
Yeah, hey, you're not taking it off for me. You're taking it off for me. Give me Acts 5:29 real quick. Hey, brother, why would you want to cover your head back? The Bible is still coming out. The Bible is still coming out. Hey, I'm hot too. You see that? I got sweat all over my face.
Come on.
I'm hot too.
Come on.
No, Acts 5:29.
Come on.
Read that.
Acts chapter 5 verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
We ought to obey God rather than men. You know what I'm saying? Man will tell you to cover your head, or you cover it. But when God tells you not to cover your head, when his word is coming out, and then you still leave your head covered, what's going on?
I don't feel it.
You see? Give me John 8 real quick. Give me. Okay, why you walking off? Come learn more about you. You hot? Okay.
Right here, take a seat.
Yeah, take it. Yeah, that's a shade right there in the corner.
Right.
All right, read that.
John chapter 8 verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So we are here teaching the truth according to the Bible. Now you so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you the Israelite that the Bible speaks of. That's right. Brother, can you come up a little bit? Let me talk to you for a minute. What's your nationality?
Nigerian.
Nigerian? All right. Would you find Nigerian in the Bible? What scripture is that?
It's are we the Israelites, right? We are, I forgot the name.
Read that again.
John 8?
Yeah, John 8. Because we are here to show the truth, to our people.
That's
Nothing
right.
but the truth. We're not out here to deceive our people. We're not out here to tell lies to our people.
Right. John 8:32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Give me the truth. So what's the truth that we out here to teach our people, to show our people, right? What's the truth? That they are the Israelites according to the Bible. They must repent and teach and keep God's laws. Read.
Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
What's the truth?
And thy law is the truth.
So God's laws is the truth. God's laws is what we need in our community.
Come on.
God's laws is what the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians need to get out from the condition that they're in.
That's right.
So what's one of these laws that we must keep today? Give me Sabbath day. Go ahead. Give me Sabbath. You got a flyer?
Yes, I got one. I'm gonna call you.
Check out the flyer. We got a speaking event too. Yeah. Read.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Why is God keep putting in the Bible to say, remember the Sabbath day? Because our people have forgotten to keep the Sabbath day holy. Our people are catching the bus today, buying and selling, working. You know what I mean? That's not How you doing today, sister? All right, that's good, that's good. Oh, what? Can I ask you, what's your nationality? Black?
But I'm a Muslim.
You're a Muslim? Okay. Do you know, according to the Bible, we God's chosen people? Oh, give me that. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 real quick.
Bring it out.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Because we God's chosen people. And guess what? God gave us His law, statutes, and commandments. He didn't give us religion. He didn't give us nothing else apart from this Bible. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
So God created us to be a special people.
That's right. Unto himself, above all people.
Above all people, out of the creation of all people that God created, we special to Him. The so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. We are special people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That are upon the face of the earth. We are above all people.
That's right.
Whether other people like it or not. That's the truth that we are here bringing out from the Bible. Give me 32, Deuteronomy 32, 17. Because the sister mentioned that what? You're a Muslim, right? Let's find out, did God give us religion or not? Read.
Deuteronomy 32, 17.
Bring it out.
They sacrifice unto devils, not to God.
Guess what? That religion, Islam, is not for us. If you all know about this, what the Muslim people do, they go to Mecca every year to pay homage to what? To the Kaaba stone that's over there in Mecca.
Right.
And guess what? A stone is not a god, right? A stone is just an idol. You know what I'm saying? Our people are worshiping idol through the religion Islam.
That's right.
Well, why do a lot of Muslims?
God is our heavenly Father.
Okay.
And that's who we pray to.
Okay.
God.
Okay, but God did not give us Islam. Right? Give me same book, chapter 4, verse 44. Let's see what God gave us and what we should do according to the Bible. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 44. And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel.
And this is the law that God, give me Baruch 3:36 as well. So this is the law that God gave the children of Israel. The law, statutes, and commandment was given to us. Not religion, not politics, not philosophy. You know what I mean? So God gave us His law, statutes, and commandment. So read that.
Baruch chapter 3 verse 36. He hath found out all the way of knowledge, and hath given it unto Jacob his servant, and to Israel his beloved.
So God has found out the way of knowledge that you can think of, and has given us this Bible to Israel. So the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the Israelites according to the Bible. And God gave us this knowledge, this Bible. Give me a law real quick. Read that.
Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 18. What profited the graven image?
So what profited the graven image? Because the so-called Muslim that's in the religion Islam, they go over there in Mecca every year to go around a stone to pray to it. They bow down to it as well. Read.
What profited the graven image? That the maker thereof has graven it.
So what profit have you gained from that religion Islam? What profit have you gained from it? Yeah. What has it profited you? Yeah. Second Right. Guess what? According to the Bible, we are the Israelite. According to the Bible,
that's right.
That religion, Islam, was created by the so-called Arab man. You know what I'm saying? So you're not part part of the Arab people, right? So guess what? That's not your religion. That's not your heritage. That's not what you're supposed to be getting into. You got to come out of that. All right, come out of that. You're an Israelite according to the Bible. Read.
What profited the graven image, that the maker thereof have graven it, the molten image, and a teacher of lies.
So that religion Islam is a teacher of lies, because they're not teaching you how to get out from your conditions. That's how people going through in the neighborhood. They're not teaching us that. They're not teaching us our nationality. They're not teaching us repentance. They're not teaching us God's laws. So guess what? Out this Bible, that's where you're going to find your true nationality, your true heritage. Give me heritage real quick. Heritage.
Quran.
Huh?
We have the Quran.
The Quran is not the right book for us. The Bible is the right book for us.
That's right.
Just like I brought out.
Not the Bible either, because man wrote the Bible.
Drop that. Give me 2 Peter 1:20. Man wrote the Bible, so let's find out who wrote the Bible. Alright? We're going to find out who wrote the Bible. 2 Peter 1:20. Because you got to start understanding that the Bible is a true book, whether you like it or not. Read.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures is of any private interpretation.
So this Bible is not of any private interpretation, meaning what? A man did not just come up and wrote this Bible.
That's right.
So let's find.
What Bible is that?
That's the King James version of the Bible. Yeah, so that's what we go by.
King James.
No, King James authorized the Bible. And from what we authorized, meaning what? He gave permission to translate the Bible from Hebrew and Greek language to English and other languages. You understand? You understand? So don't get confused about authorization and the author. Let's see the author real quick. Read that. Finish that out. Read.
For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
Holy men spake by what?
But holy men spake will of man, but holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
So all these prophets that put these books together, they didn't come by their, they didn't come up with their own will to write this Bible. They did not come up with that. I'm saying they was moved by God's Spirit, just like we are moved by God's Spirit, coming out here to show our people who they are according to the Bible.
That's right.
Read
Psalm 68 verse 11. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it.
Read that part again.
The Lord gave the word.
Who gave the word?
The Lord gave the word.
Who gave the word?
The Lord gave the word.
Oh, you see that? It was God that wrote the Bible. Oh, give me that. No, God is not the author of confusion, real quick. So, God gave the word, right? So, God is the one that wrote this Bible.
That's right.
Initially.
He's supposed to wrote the Bible. You see, they took the words, a lot of them didn't transparent the Bible like it really supposed to be. Because none of them was there. It's still looking at what man wrote, how he wrote that and how he understood.
Okay, so what you're saying is you don't believe in this Bible. That's what you're saying.
Not all of them. Not some.
Not all of them. Let's read this real quick, and then you give me the one about all scriptures. Read.
Right.
1 Corinthians 14 verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion.
God is not the author of who?
For God is not the author of confusion.
Guess what? God is not the author of confusion. It's whether you read, keep the laws that's written in this Bible and understand it, or you don't keep the laws and then you get confused about the Bible. So that's one of the reasons why you don't understand what's written in this Bible. No, you don't understand, sister. How do you drop that? Give me if you know God. If you know God, give me that. 1 John 2 and 3. Let's see how we know God through what? How do you know God? Let me ask you that.
You know what I can see a lot of these like you see a lot of gay people. That's an abomination.
abomination. It's against God's law.
Right.
Yeah.
He created man and woman.
Right.
Not two men.
And guess what? Guess what? Where you gonna find that out? In the Bible. You ain't gonna find that in the book of Quran. You ain't gonna find that in other books. But the Bible teaches us what? How to walk in this life. The right way to walk in this life. That's what the Bible teaches.
Right. He told them to stop that and to go on, but they refused.
Right.
And which died and came and wound up with a disease, a deadly disease, called HIV or AIDS. Then that was a church I know that was downtown.
Yeah, let me read this to you, sisters, because you mentioned about you know God. The sister said she knows God, right? Let's see what the Bible say how we're supposed to know God. Read it up.
1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments.
So how do we know God? By keeping his commandment.
That's right.
Are you keeping the commandment today, sister?
Yeah, I am.
Hey, brother with the jersey on, are you keeping the God's commandment? You don't want to hear God's word? Okay. See that? Our people are destroyed because of what? They don't want to listen to God's word. They don't want to do God's law, statutes, and commandments.
Not always God's word.
Okay. Let me give you read that real quick. Read that.
Sir, where's that?
Yes, just to touch on the book of Quran real quick, just to tell you that book is a false book, right? It's not a true book. Read.
This is from Israel in the Quran. Surah chapter 2, verse 122. O children of Israel.
Oh, children of what?
O children of Israel. Remember my favor, which I have bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you over the worlds.
You see that? And we just brought that scripture out. Give me that. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. We just brought out that what? God has a chosen people. He chose us among all people he created. That's what the Quran is saying.
Bring it out.
So that means what? The Quran favor what? It's showing favor to the Israelite, not to the people that's following the book. That's right. So where you gonna find the true Israelite at in this Bible?
That's right.
Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
See that? God has chosen us, just like the Bible says. And then it says it in the book of Quran. Why is that? Do you know what the word Quran means? Exactly. The word Quran means to recite. So what they did was they recited that verse out the Bible in that book. So guess what? The real source that you got to go to is what? The Bible. You have to go to the Bible to get your knowledge. You have to go to the Bible to get the truth.
Drink it out.
Yeah. Give me that.
You got to know God.
Right, the Bible is what you did really, and God. Yeah, that's what we've been bringing out. So come out of that religion that you're in. Islam is not the way.
That's right.
The Bible is the way.
That's right. Amos chapter 2, verse 11. And I raised up of your sons for prophets, and of your young men for Nazarites.
You see that? So all of the prophets like Jeremiah, Moses, Jesus Christ, Ezekiel, all of these prophets came through the Israelite, came through us, came through our forefather Jacob. We're the Israelite, we're the prophet, we're the real prophet according to the Bible. Read.
Is it not even thus, O you children of Israel, saith the Lord?
See that? So the children of Israel are considered the prophet of the Most High God.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.